I announced in my previous video that Britney Spears' father, Jamie Spears, agreed to step down on August 12th, but was waiting for a transitional team so that he could provide the necessary paperwork and guidance to the new conservator. He didn't really say this, but I gather from when he said, when the time is right, he meant that he would agree and concede to the new team once there was someone in place to hand off the reins to. Many of us wondered what that looked like. Was he conceding? Was he feeling defeated? Was he avoiding, or was he playing hardball? Or would he be cooperative for the next hearing? So, as we saw recently on September 7th, he was rather cooperative and in agreement that his role as conservator had come to an end, and he was willing to step down. So, let's look at what this means for Britney Spears, what this looks like. He's been the guiding light in her life for the last 12, 13 years. We look at these celebrities so we can edify our own legal knowledge. In case you have come across conservators, you have some perspective of what it looks like. Obviously, many of us are not celebrities, but this information is helpful and useful to all of us. So conservatorships don't just end just because the ward or the person under the conservatorship wants it to end. So I just want that to be clear. Because remember what I mentioned in my earlier video, conservators have a lot of responsibilities, a lot of formalities, many duties. So imagine what you have to do on a day-to-day basis. You're a business owner, or you work for somebody, you have a side hustle, you have children, you have parents that you care for, you have social engagements, you have networking engagement. There's a lot of moving parts in many of our lives. So imagine doing all of this and arranging it for another person, a full-blown adult. And then imagine doing that for Britney Spears, a woman with a mammoth amount of responsibilities and duties, and also has a lot of celebrity status to go with it. It's a very complicated relationship. Of course, it's different in regards to children, because children don't necessarily have as many responsibilities as adults unless they're a celebrity themselves or an Olympic athlete. And so being a conservator or guardian for an adult is a little different. But for a full-blown adult, it's a very complicated and dynamic relationship for the role of caretaker. Or even for a senior citizen with dementia or Alzheimer's, who's likely slowed down in the latter part of that person's life. But a relationship of a caretaker for a fully realized adult, it's more dynamic, especially one at Britney's level, with the success and responsibilities that she has to contend with. So this does not happen automatically, and there needs to be a transitional phase when a new conservator comes on board, which is what Jamie Spears likely was waiting for. So a conservator, again, does not automatically step down. He or she has to follow certain procedures that the court dictates. So Jamie agreed last month to step down, but that didn't mean he would just quit and go about his daily life or walk away and just leave Britney to her own devices. He has to coordinate, or his legal team has to coordinate and provide all necessary paperwork before stepping down. Stepping down is a procedural and formal process and requires an enormous amount of documents being handed over, personal information, financials, bank account records, especially with someone with the amount of fame and assets that Britney Spears has. Again, she's a celebrity, so this requires a lot of time and thoroughness so that it's done correctly. But again, Jamie is not sitting in a room just going through paperwork. He obviously has a legal team that takes care of it, but he likely has to oversee it, and he wants to oversee it because, again, this is his daughter. This was on August 12th that Jamie filed for documents stating that he was willing to step down from his role when the time was right. Well, the time is now. And many of us are happy to see that Britney is having some autonomy and a say in her care. Now, he's following up that filing for the arrangement of the termination with additional paperwork. As Mr. Spears has said again and again that he wants what's best for his daughter, this is according to the petition. If Ms. Spears wants to terminate the conservatorship and believes that she can handle her own life, Mr. Spears believes that she should get that chance. This is a quote. So after 13 years, Mr. Spears has agreed to step down. The next hearing is set for September 29th, which is probably when the court will accept the resignation of Jamie Spears. Britney's lawyer also went on to say that this is a legal victory for his team, for Britney Spears, but Mr. Spears' cooperation does not absolve him from legal investigation. So it sounds like Britney's attorney, Rosengart, plans to investigate whether or not Britney's estate has been mishandled by her father, and to see whether or not there was mishandling and abuse in the conservatorship. Britney has been rather public about her father being allegedly abusive to her. Whether or not this is true, this is all alleged. There will be an investigation, likely on behalf of Britney Spears' camp. So Britney probably feels vindicated and is elated with this news. But some things to know. Britney Spears is still a ward and has a conservator. Like I mentioned before, this does not end her conservatorship. Rather, the court is accepting the resignation of her father and then perhaps the selection of a new conservator. Next, Britney's new attorney may file for the termination of the conservatorship, which is what Britney has been advocating for as well. Not only the firing of her father, but also the termination of the conservatorship. And so we may see this in the next coming hearings. But we shall see. I'm sure Britney is relieved by this good news and hopes for the ending of her conservatorship in the near future. Again, when Britney stepped into this conservatorship years ago, she was in a very different state than she is now. So it looks like it's on the up and up. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this information has been helpful for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment below and share it with anyone that you think it would be helpful to. Thanks again, and I really appreciate your support. Bye-bye.